What is up, everybody? And your boy Tino is back here on the Southside, boys. It's been a couple weeks as we were not here a couple weeks ago, and then we took last week off, obviously, for the 4th of July. But we're back here to talk about more White Sox baseball, and this weekend we're celebrating 20 years of the 2005 Chicago White Sox. We got the Mark Burley statue, we got a 4-pitcher bobblehead, and we got a 4-game series starting with the Guardians at 6:40. So we got a lot to talk about and a lot to get to. So let's not waste any more time. We will not have Justin here this week as Justin taking the week off. Got some things to do, but we got the right-hand man, the man that is always here with me by my side. What's up, Deech? How you doing?
What's
How you
up,
feeling?
Tino?
How was your 4th of July? And, it's been a couple weeks since we've talked and done a show together. You and Justin were the last show, I think, that you guys did together. And
I got sick the Tuesday before the 4th of July, so I was actually sick all weekend. So that kind of sucked. Did watch a lot of the Sox games, though, while being sick. So that was nice to I had missed some of the games I hadn't been able to watch as closely over the last 2 weeks. So it was nice to catch up on that. And then I was feeling better, so I went on Tuesday.
This past Tuesday?
Yeah. Which they didn't play well, but
I mean, your seats
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the seats that you've been getting have been really good. So, I mean, I would not be complaining. But you know what? The one thing is, though, is about these series as of late. It's I feel like at least they've been putting in effort, and they even the Dodger series. Obviously, I haven't been here, I haven't talked about, and but I mean, the Dodger series, that game, they had it in the 9th inning, and they just blew it. So we very well could have at least won one, and it seems like that's the biggest thing this year is we're not getting swept. We're at least taking at least one game, or they're taking a series. They're taking the series, and obviously, it would be nice to sweep the Rockies and stuff like that. But I mean, if they could just keep winning series and everything else like that, and the fact that there are 31 wins now, I said it yesterday. I forgot what person I was talking to, but they literally need 10 more wins to get where they were last year, and it's July what? It's not even the All-Star break yet.
Yeah.
So
the thing with that is, though, it'll be interesting to see after the trade deadline. I mean, as much as everyone rips on these veterans, some of them have actually been giving them production. So is the young group that would kind of take over at least the at-bats that's already on the team, all going to continue to play as well? That's the only thing I'm skeptical about, that they just, not that they'll be bad, but there's going to be growing pains if it's just a whole young team out there.
Well, yeah, and then guys like Mike Talkman that just continues to get on base and take pitches and do this and that have been very helpful. And it just, that's the thing that, like you said, it's going to be. That's why I've been saying I don't think that they should trade all of them. Maybe keep a Mike Talkman, and maybe you still got to have some type of veterans around that so these guys can look up to, especially with obviously Alco now coming back up with Baldwin going on the IL. We obviously, since I think last time we talked, Colston Montgomery, yeah, that was last week that Montgomery came up. So we've seen almost a full week of Colston in the MLB and everything. So it's just one of those things. And even the pitchers, like Adrian Hauser, where the heck did this guy come from? The fact that he's one of the best pitchers in baseball since May 20th. So it's the veterans that they need to be able to help, especially with as many young players and young people. I would not be surprised if they're one of the top 5 youngest teams already, or if not next year, because there's a lot of young guys that were even the fact that we have a rookie closer, I guess, in a way, with Grant Taylor that seems to be being able to hold that down. Other than obvious, yesterday Jordan Leisure gave me a panic attack. I swear to God, I was like, they bring this MFer into the game. So, but and that's the thing with a lot of these guys. It's crazy. Like Chuck and Ozzy were talking about it a couple days ago. Chuck was like Chase Mydroff, rookie. They were like, this guy, rookie. Everybody's almost rookies. That it just, I don't know. So that's the one thing about the trade deadline I'm really worried about, with them trading everybody. But hopefully they don't, and it just, because I do think that they can get some value with some of these guys, like a Hauser, and, depending on what people offer for a Talkman, I don't really know. But, man, I just love watching him play baseball sometimes. I didn't think I'd like him as much as I do, especially when...
Because he's a ball player.
Yeah. He goes out
It's
there.
such an improvement to a lot of the guys on the previous core because they were always hurt or just had very odd quirks about them.
Yeah, I mean, what was the one play? Was maybe it was last week or this week? It was with my drop. He like fell like backwards and did like a somersault and got back up and wiped off his shoulder. I was like, if it was Anderson or anybody else, they would have been laying on the floor, freaking going like they're freaking Peter Griffin when he fell and broke his or hurt his knee. And it just like that's the thing where it's like, yes, you could be hurt or you could be injured. There's always a difference. You can play hurt, but you can't play injured. Like it's gonna happen. You play 162 games. It's a lot. It's not like it's not easy on the body. So I think
Well,
that's
and
the
that's the
biggest thing.
thing. The plate discipline, I mean, you can still see it with Robert sometimes. None of that previous core had plate discipline, whereas most of the younger guys that are coming up now are, I mean, like Mydruth was known to have like control the strike zone. Um, we'll see how Colson works out. I mean, hopefully getting the promotion kind of sparks him to have a good rookie season.
It's been a very small sample size, but I don't know. Even just like some of the things that he's done already, I've just really enjoyed watching, and it like you said, it kind of like maybe will give him that like motivational boost that he goes out there and knows that he can go out there and be the guy that we all hope he wants to be. But again, it is such a short sample size. It's like you want to see it continuously for a long period of time. Where even like the play he made on the first game. I mean, it was top play in Sports Center that night, if I'm not mistaken. And
oh yeah.
I think there were some people saying it was the catch of the year or catch of the summer. I was like, okay, and I was watching it because I was watching it on my phone. I think it was the 4th of July, wasn't it? That right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just, speaking of the 4th of July, I think it was the 4th of July or the next day, Edgar Carroll got his first home run. And that's also the other thing. It's like watching these guys get their first home run, their first win. Shane Smith going to the All Star game for the first time and representing the White Sox. And the fact that he was in double A last year at this time. I remember you or somebody saying that, but I like forgot. And the fact that, like, that's why you just never really know what can happen. So it's nice to see, and it's also nice to, like you said, with the place discipline, watching these guys take walks and not swing at every single pitch out of the strike zone or pitches that are, unless you're CB Buckner and don't know what the strike zone is, because my God, get some glasses. But I mean, it just you see how much more and how many more like they can be productive in innings when they do that. Where in the past they just have not, and watching guys go up there and strike out a bunch of was not fun at all. So
That's kind of what's been frustrating to watch about Elko is Elko swings. I mean, and it's still early on. I mean, you need to kind of ride it out and see. At this point, it didn't seem like they were going to call him up, and then Baldwin got hurt. But what did Elko had? Was it 3 strikeouts last night?
yeah,
I mean, I don't. If he like continues on that for like a 2 or 3 week span, I can't imagine they're going to keep him up here. Um,
yeah.
so he's going to start needing to run into some
Well, and that's the thing.
because
Like we talked about it on like 3 episodes ago. I think it was. It's like he either strikes out or he hits a home run, and it's like so. It's like it's one of those things that's fine. But then he goes down to AAA and he's hitting the ball left and right. And it's just like with Baldwin too, where it's like they go down to AAA and they're like the MVPs of the league. And then they come up here and it's like they forget. And obviously it's different. But I think at this point, you just got to let him figure it out. Because what are you going to do? Just keep sending him up and down until he does whatever. And, I don't know. So, shall be interesting to see what they do with all of that. Because, yeah, I don't know. That with it, with what, oh, man. I don't know. I just the hype with Tim Alco is just one of those things that I just try not to, even with Colston, I try not to get too excited until I actually see it, because how many guys have we seen come up or be debuts and they do absolutely nothing? So I think we're all just
that
traumatized.
previous team really scarred me too on guys who don't have productive at bats.
Yeah,
So that I think is why I get more frustrated with Elko's at bats is just because that was pretty much the entire roster of the previous kind of contention window or whatever you want to call it. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want to call it. I think that's that's the good that. I
so
mean,
I mean, it is what it is at this. They don't have anyone else to play first base.
we
Noda's
got
hurt.
Ryan Noda.
No, Noda's hurt, and then
Oh,
Baldwin went down. So
Noda. I didn't even know Noda got hurt.
I mean,
Okay.
allegedly got hurt. It could have been just like a ghost IL stint. Throw him on there, make up an injury.
I think we invented the ghost IL stint. After Clint Frazier came out and had that interview, probably on Foul Territory, and said that about the 2023 White Sox, I just can't. I'm like, just, and that's
It
the
was
one thing.
nothing you didn't know, though. It was just the confirmation that made it worse.
Oh, I know. And it's sad because it makes me worse that I don't know that those I just these some of these teams that I've sat here and watched. I sometimes think to myself, I'm like, how the hell did I watch all of these games? It's like freaking like I just feel like I'm in like a just like a loop sometimes watching these games, and they just days go on, and it's just like, okay, well, here we go, on and on and on and on. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're really bad. It just you never know what's gonna happen in the day of being a White Sox fan. But they did go and they played the Rockies. They won 2 out of 3. And then they played the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays have been hot. I didn't realize how hot the Blue Jays were. They just won 10 in
They
a
were on
row.
like
And
what 11-game winning streak and then lost to us.
yeah, so they were on a 10-game winning streak and then lost
Okay.
last. Yeah, so we ended that, which I mean, obviously playing the Rockies, that's what they needed to do. Obviously, sweeping the team is very difficult, and obviously it is what it is. The Rockies got into a good inning, had themselves a whatever, and got the one win. But they took the series, and thankfully, because if they did not, I feel like that's the thing. Like, people were like, oh, well, this and that, but it's like that's what you need to do. You need to go out there and beat the Rockies when they're the worst team, just like everybody who's beating us.
Yeah, I really wish though that they would have swept them, to be
Well,
honest with
listen,
you.
so do
And
I. But
it's
like, you got to take with what you can get sometimes.
no, but that would have just crossed off two things kind of off the list of you could really start if you can go win any series on the road, that at least helps the fact that you've been god awful on the road to start the season at this point. But I mean, I'll take the 2 out of 3. I wouldn't want anything less than that.
Well,
But
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I just keep saying. Where if they could just continue to take 2 out of 3, or even like split or whatever, like that's where I'm just like it's sad that that's where we're at, but I'm just kind of trying to take it for what it is, and seeing guys like Teal and Caro and Chase and these guys and Vargas, and yes, Vargas has been struggling a little bit, and he has kind of fallen off from his swing change that we talked about for 3 weeks to a month, but I mean, the core of guys that we have, I feel like, are continuing to be out there. They're productive and they're going out there and doing things. Even like Caro going and throwing that guy out on third last week or whatever it was. It's just like we haven't had a catcher like that since AJ. And, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But like seeing all this stuff from 2005, just like, reminds me of why I loved being a White Sox fan at some point. And I just want to have that feeling back. So, obviously we don't know what's going to happen with any of these guys. Anything can happen, but I've been thinking about it too. I always feel like we talk about the other core a lot. It's like I feel like we got that core and we had to go through that bullshit core and all of that to get these guys that hopefully will make things better, because all the guys that we had on the core are the ones we traded to get these guys. So, because, yeah, but how I try not to get my hopes up too high because I don't like getting let down, and yeah, especially with this freaking team. It's sad. Sitting at 31-63 feels better than whatever the hell we watched last year. What Chuck
yeah,
said it. I think Chuck said it today that we didn't get our 31st win until August 2nd or 4th last year.
yeah. And then the 32nd was like in September.
Oh my god,
They went on like an 11-game losing streak. I
that's
believe
right.
that's when Pedro got fired, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got fired after, because I remember he got fired after we won against Oakland, where we broke like that 20 game, I
Yeah.
think, and then we lost again. Yeah, what I feel like that was like 4 years ago. I don't know about you, but that feels like that was so much longer than it actually was, like a year ago. Like I don't know. It's wild how fast some of this time goes, and how like like the fact like Robert is the only guy left, or sitting at the bar in Milwaukee yesterday, bro. Of course, waiting for wings at the place that I live at or whatever, and they have the Brewers game on, and Andrew Vaughn comes up, and it's a freaking go-ahead base. I'm like, I hate you. I'm like, of course you would. And all these Brewers fans are celebrating, and I'm sitting. I'm like, guys, don't get your hopes up too high. I'm like, you're not ready for the disappointment that you're about to go through with this guy. But I mean, and that's the thing with the trade deadline. Like Robert goes, there's nobody left other than Ethan Katz, and he's not even a player. So, you know, and it's kind of been weird. Where it's like some of those games Robert was out because obviously he just came back from the IL. It seemed like they played a little bit better with Robert out with Baldwin, and Baldwin wasn't doing too bad in center field when he was playing because obviously that's what he's been doing in AAA and everything. So.
I mean, Robert's not putting together good at bats either. That's really the issue. You can't
Well,
have dead weight in a lineup when you don't have enough power.
no.
So it'll be interesting to see. Baldwin will probably be out for at least. I mean, they said what, the 10-day IL. So I mean, Elko's going to get his opportunity if Robert stays healthy. He's probably going to play a lot leading up to the deadline.
Well, yeah.
Even Lennon Sosa may get traded if you think about it. If they get a good enough offer, he doesn't have any options left, and they have a ton of middle infield depth. So
I mean, and honestly, right, he's a good player to honestly, he could be like a sleeper guy to be traded because he has been having such a really good season and everybody can use a guy like him. If he could learn how to keep his foot on the base, if I see it one more time, I'm going to literally jump through my TV screen. But I mean, like he hits the ball, he's done, and I think he's definitely gotten and definitely like continued to do better as he's gotten more playing time. Where obviously a team in contention could definitely use somebody like that. So he is somebody that definitely, like you said, and we have so many infielders now. Where with Colston being up, and Vargas and Chase and Kyle Teal could play first base if they wanted to. So you know, never did I think that we'd have two catchers again that were good because how bad we've had the catcher position from Tyler Flowers to freaking Dion Navarro or right? Or is that where it was that what
yeah.
it was, right?
Well, and
Yeah.
the issue now is everyone's getting all worked up about the catcher situation, but it's like until they flip some of these guys, you have to give guys who you're trying to trade at bats, or no team is going to want them.
Well, exactly, and that's why, like, if Mike Talkman continues to do what Mike Talkman's doing, they might get some phone calls from him just because how good he has actually been. And even Austin Slater, I mean, he's obviously not the greatest player of all time, but he still leans into one. He gets a triple here and there, gets a couple home runs, and he does. He puts on quality at bats where you need a base runner, he gets a walk, and and that's been the biggest thing too this year is like watching these guys get on base and get the guy over and get them in somehow has been so refreshing to watch for so long. We have not been able to see that, and they still do it. They still get bases loaded, one out or no outs, and they still can't score. But I feel like especially this year, it's been a lot less than it has been more often in the past 5-6 years, where it was like every time you couldn't get a runner in, and it's like what the hell. And then the other team comes up and they clear the bases, and it's like, all right, well, you suck. And when they go down, they don't give up. Like that's been the other thing that I've been very impressed by, where it's like they go down in these games, and it's not over right away as where it's always been game's over as soon as the other team gets some runs because we can't hit the ball if our life depended on it. So I think that's been some very good highlights, especially with
It's because they all have like actual pride in themselves.
well, yeah, or watching. Did
You
you see
can
the one?
tell, like when they are losing, it's not like they're sitting there like, "Oh, I just want this to be over." Like they at least are like, "We're going to try and come back." I
Well, do you
mean,
see how mad they get when they actually lose? Like after they show the last out and they're like White Sox lose, whatever. Like Chase and Teal and Carroll, like all these guys are all pissed. Where like before they're like it was like Mancadas and Anderson just had like this stale face on there where just like show some type of emotion. Don't you care that you're on a 10-game losing streak? Like, don't you want to be like known as the guy to like go out? And I think that's kind of what these guys have, where it's like they want to be known as the next good Chicago team after what we've been through because I feel like and even watching all the old 05 stuff, and we're going to get into that and everything, like Tadahito Aguchi, the reason why he wanted to come to Chicago is because he loved the uniform and he wanted to represent the logo on the front of it. And it was just like, that's what I feel like a lot of these guys want to do, where before they just didn't care. All the other guys cared about was what color chain they were wearing and what color, sleeve. At least Caro, he wears the bright ass green, but he hits a base hit and gets a home run here and there, throws a guy out at third base. Moncada's ass would fall over and be out for 10 days. But, yeah. I don't know. So we do have, and is there anything else you want to talk about though from the last week? I feel like other than Adrian Hauser keeps shoving, Shane Smith going to the All-Star game, and how do you feel about that? Do you think Shane gets into the game?
No, because I think he's starting tomorrow, so he won't be on
Oh, he won't.
enough
That's.
rest to be able to pitch.
I thought it was Sunday's game that they couldn't pitch in the All Star game. Like if they pitch Sunday, they're not allowed, right?
Isn't the All-Star game Tuesday?
Yeah, but I thought it was like Sunday. Like whoever pitches Sunday, if they're in the All Star game, they got to get replaced because that's 2 days. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah,
starters need 5 days of rest in between starts. So the Sox would probably I don't know if he'll pitch. I don't think he will pitch, because that'll give his arm some rest too, which I feel like he's exceeded the amount of innings he's ever pitched in the majors. So, or I mean, in his pro career.
well, but and that's the thing. Like even like if they don't get in the game too, I feel like even just the experience going wherever, like it's in Atlanta this year, wherever it's at, going there, competing in the festivities, watching the home run derby, all of that. Like that's honestly, I like that. I like watching the home run derby more than anything. And thankfully, they're wearing their actual uniforms this year, like they did back in the day, and not whatever the hell they've been wearing for the last 5-6 years. So it will make it semi. And
Well,
then also see
even
the big.
for even for Shane though, I mean, just go and I mean, you're literally going to be on a team with all like studs. I mean,
Like
you can
the
sit and
greatest
I
player
mean,
in the sport right now.
yeah. So I mean, the opportunity to even just get to like meet certain people if he hasn't already, or have like conversations, like you can learn stuff just by being around players like that. So
I mean,
it's not
exactly.
like the Sox are bringing in a bunch of all-star pitchers. I mean, we normally develop them, but
I mean, you would think that they would, and they would want to do something or another because, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but remember the All Star break does begin on Monday, so there is no baseball from Monday to Thursday, and then games will resume on Friday. Do you watch the Home Run Derby or the All Star game, or are you just like, I need a break from baseball?
yeah, I generally do. I think the home run derby's on the 14th, right?
Yeah, it's always the Monday because it's
Yeah.
always like during Raw. So
So,
that's
I mean, by that point, it depends what I'm doing. That is actually my birthday, so
oh,
it
we
depends.
celebrating Deech's birthday, guys! Woohoo!
Yeah. So,
Well, that's fun, man. We were talking on the phone a couple days ago. The fact it's been 2 years since me, you, and Justin were at your birthday party and we did that
yeah.
crawl and everything. It's crazy how fast time goes and everything else like that. But yeah, All Star game should be very interesting. But before we get to the All Star game, Deech, it's time to celebrate 20 years of Chicago White Sox winning the World Series back in 2005. How the hell has it been 20 years? I don't know. I was 9 years old and I was just literally watching the DVD before we started recording. And I still remember sitting in my living room watching that last out and watching. I called my mom. I remember when Jeff Blum hit the home run in game 3. I was literally sitting in my
Yeah.
mom's bed learning how to snap my fingers. And I don't know why that day was the day I figured out how to do it. But like 2 minutes before he hit the home run, I figured out how to do it. And just one of those things that that 2005 season was something that will never happen again, especially the stuff that they did in the playoffs where they went 11-1. The starters completed, was it 4 straight complete games, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that obviously, with what happened this past week and the 4th of July and losing and the passing of Bobby Jenks, the closer, not the guy that was on the team whenever the hell ESPN bullshit, man. When I saw that shit, I wanted to, man, like what the hell? What the hell type of person just says that? I feel like you gotta like know something about, but that of course obviously comes at like the worst time and one of the things and condolences to the family and everything, and I just cannot even, I still can't get over and still fathom because Bobby Jenks was one of those guys that, like, he was a rookie that year. He came out. He wasn't even the closer. He wasn't even the guy that when we started the season was supposed to be that. I think they had two or three closers before and they finally found
Yeah.
he became that guy. And he got the last out. After rewatching the DVD, I didn't even realize that he was in a couple more. And he actually blew one of the games. And that's how we got the walk off. And obviously, being a 9-year-old, I don't remember that. I just remember them winning the game and celebrating, going crazy. So, what do you remember from the 2005 World Series? Do you ever go back and like watch stuff and try to like, do you ever? I don't know, like watching that, I was getting the chills. Like, I still like sad it was 20 years ago, but that stuff still like, I don't think it will ever go away, and I just want that feeling again. But
It
2000,
I the way that I have like mixed feelings about it. Like good for them. They're totally gonna monetize this weekend. It will be cool to like get the team together. I mean, that's what they're doing. I mean, they were even selling like autograph sessions or like photo opportunities with some of the players before
I
the
did see
game.
that. I saw that with
Um
JD and stuff because he was
so I
promoting
mean,
it
fans
on.
have been trying to stick it to them for the last like 3 years with the whole like sell the team, like I'm not gonna go to games and they've lost money, so I mean this is a way for them to make some money. It'll be cool to see all the players together. Obviously the Mark Burley statue. That the unveiling's tomorrow. I'm going for that, and then I'll be
Is
there
it? That was gonna be
Saturday
the
as
next thing I
well.
was gonna ask you if you knew exactly what was going on what day because they got stuff going on all weekend. So
Yeah.
tomorrow's the statue. What's Saturday?
I it
Are
might
they
be the reunion. Um,
got you? Because on
but I
Sunday's that
know,
four-person bobblehead that
yeah,
they're
the
giving
four pit
away.
the starters. And then Saturday, I think, is the Burley bobblehead giveaway.
That yeah, you know what I think that's right. That's what it is. So it shall be very interesting. And, I was thinking about it too. And I feel like this is part of the reason why they didn't have all of these guys maybe show up at Sox Fest too. Because, I mean, you know how I've complained about it. I'm just greedy. I just wanted to have them all there. But this is probably part of it too, is because they were doing this and they wanted to make sure all the guys. And there was somebody else talking. Obviously, it's cold and shit in January. None of these guys want to come out here. And, but it's very I love these things and stuff like that, but it's also one of those things that I just also hate living in the past, and I just want to, like I said, I just want to have this feeling again. But seeing the statue and seeing all of this, and I'm sure we're gonna have highlight reels and this and that and everything. Don't forget that is a 4-game series. They do start in an hour against the Guardians. So is it raining in Chicago? Because it was raining here. Is it raining?
I saw it was supposed to rain, but
Of course it was. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But I mean, that's the thing where it just
supposed to
like you
start around 10.
oh tonight you set 10 tonight.
So I don't think it's raining now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and that's the thing where just I will say, have you been there since they had that Mark Burley thing up where like it's supposed to be? Like, have you walked around there and like seen that? Like, is it as big as
Yeah,
they
I was there Tuesday, and
were
I
you?
did
Okay.
walk out to the outfield.
Do you
Not
think
for
it?
that purpose, but
What do you think the statue is going to be? Do you think it's going to be like the perfect game, the no hitter, the like? I'm trying to figure out what this like because they obviously they've shown the carving little bits, but like, what moment do you think it will be for him in that like the
I don't
statue?
know. The box kind of throws it off. It
I
could
know,
be
well
him
that
sliding on the tarp.
like the bobblehead they gave away at Sox Fest.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, you're not wrong, or it could be like a
'Cause it's
three.
like it's not like it's not like a rectangle standing, vertical, it's like more of a horizontal. I mean, it's covering a lot of space. So, that could be just to throw people off, but it wouldn't shock me if it was like, "Oh, it's him sliding, slip and slide."
I mean, honestly, I would not put it past the White Sox to do something like that. You know.
Well, it'd be unique, the amount of like photo opportunities and stuff. Like fans would be all over it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean that. I mean that's why it's like, cause like when I got my Sox Fest stuff, I was actually gonna pick these two games. I wanted to go like Friday and Saturday because they were like allowing people to pick these games. But that was the thing. Like, I feel like it's gonna be so crazy. It's gonna be insane. Where it's just like some of those games, like I don't know why, but they're just not fun. I don't feel like running into people. I don't want to like have to like deal with all of that nonsense. Like for me, I just try to want to enjoy the game and like enjoy that stuff. And I always remember going. I remember going to the year they gave away the 2005 replica ring, and it was like they were literally giving away these rings, and they were like pushing me out of the way because they wanted to do this, and I'm just trying to get to my seat, and I wasn't even 21, so I couldn't even get a ring because it was sponsored by Miller Lite, so I couldn't even get one.
Yeah.
And it was like these people are like pushing me out of the way and everything. It's like it's not fun. Like why are you pushing? I was like 16, 17, but it's like still, why are you pushing people out the way? I'd rather watch it on TV. Well, they better show it on freaking TV. I mean, I would assume so. They usually do. So, shall be interesting. But for uh for 2005, anything else? Is there anything else that you did want to say about 2005 that you remembered, or
I
anything
mean, I
like
watched
that?
the.
Or do you
I
like?
You can even watch some of the games on. I think they're on like YouTube. To be
They
honest
are.
with you,
They are.
so I've done that occasionally since then. And I mean, I had the DVD or whatever.
Do you have the
Um,
box set or just the actual like DVD? Because I guess they have two. I didn't even know they had two.
I think I just have the DVD.
Gotcha.
Um, but I mean, so you remember all like the highlight plays of that year?
Man, which one?
Or I mean, even just like the playoffs. The AJ thing, that was only cool because my dad was actually at the game. And it was not as into baseball as I was. So he was like texting me and he's like, "What just took like what happened?" And I was literally so jealous that he was there because I was just like, "Oh," and he was in company suite for work right behind home
Wow.
plate.
Boy.
So
I-
that
That's
play
cool.
just sticks out. But I mean,
I mean,
the pitching will never be repeated. There will never be
no,
four starters that throw complete games in a World Series.
no. I mean, and even like the guys that were like on that team, like they were talking about it. I mean, like nobody predicted them to be where they were, and nobody predicted them to be like this and that. And even like watching that like DVD today, where it was just like the things that they did, like the small ball, the this, the that, the ease, like they played baseball the way it was supposed to be played, and it helped obviously with the pitching and having those complete games and everything else like that. But I mean, the clutch hitting and the guys that would come up and just get these base hits out of nowhere, or every advantage that the White Sox would take advantage of, it was just like we've been watching it done to us for so long that it was like rewatching even that and just like it was like okay, well at one point the White Sox did do what we've had happen to us so long because and that's the thing. Like I said, I didn't realize like they got down. Man, my heart would be up and down in races if I was like a little bit older at that time. Could not have dealt with that. So I
Well,
always
and I
say,
don't know if you've noticed, even with this year, there's such a difference on the defensive side. They hit their cutoffs. Like
yeah,
there's not this like trying to throw guys out at third base from like right field where they have no business even throwing that ball and cutting off the runner at first so he doesn't take second for free.
well,
Um,
and that's the biggest thing because
that's
that
getting back to what that 2005 team. I mean, they just did everything like how it was meant to be done.
yeah, and
So
that's how you win baseball games. And even Ozzy said it. You win. It's in any sport, pitching and defense, and even like football, defense wins championships, and it's that simple because again, you could score. All it takes is 1, 2 runs, and we saw it like the game 4. Willie Harris got on base, stole a base, and Jermaine Dye got him in, or they sacrificed him, and Jermaine Dye got the base hit, and there that was all they needed to win. I mean, and it's just like and that's been the thing. At least the last week, we've seen 2 games now this past week where they've won 1-run games, and that's been very nice to see. It's like actually having some of the confidence in like Jordan Leisure looked great. I'll give it to him. He looked great yesterday. Probably the best he's looked in a while. So, him being able to come out there and do that, I don't well, who knows what the hell will
that
happen
was also strategic too. They let Grant Taylor take on the like heart of
hard
the lineup,
yeah,
and then they still gave Leisure a leverage situation, but it wasn't like, "Here, we're setting you up to, like, implode and
yeah.
make this worse."
Well, exactly. And that's the biggest thing. Like I saw Eric comment, how is the new manager? That's the thing where it's like you're not setting people up to fail, where it's like Grant Taylor has proven that he can go out there and get these big moments and get these big at bats and big swings and everything else. Like when we were playing the Giants, he swung out. He swung out. He struck out Devers in the ninth inning. It was just like obviously Devers ain't doing the greatest on the Giants right now, but it's still Rafael Devers, and it's just one of those things that having him go up there against guys like that just gives him the confidence to know he can get the 3 outs. And I always talk about it. The last 3 outs in baseball are the hardest 3 outs that they'll ever see, no matter whatever it is, because that's why there's only a few people that are so good at it, like Mariano Rivera and et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, it just should be very interesting. And yeah, you are right about this weekend. It's the statue. It's a pregame ceremony on Saturday, and then on Sunday it's the bobblehead. So
Okay.
I feel like Saturday is like the big thing, and I just wonder what they're gonna do, because obviously they're gonna have a tribute to Bobby, and they'll have I don't know. I'm gonna cry. I don't know. This shit gets me emotional. I was watching. They were. I watched. They were showing whatever, and they showed Paul Konerko's home run, and I still get chills. I don't even care, man. I don't know why I still do. But 2005 is in the past. We need to win a World Series now. So we got to play the Guardians. Still, we still have a 4-game set after celebrating this weekend. How many games are we winning this week against these Guardians? The Guardians ain't playing too hot, but that never matters, because yeah.
I am feeling pretty good about this series. I don't exactly know why, so I'm going to say they're going to win 3 out of 4.
Okay. See, like, and that's the thing where it's just like they've given the ability to be able to feel like they can go out there, and I just hopefully the 2005 team being there will help them, give them some confidence.
What did
Maybe.
we do in Cleveland earlier this season?
Oh, did we play in Cleveland this year? I
Yeah,
forget.
it was early on.
We got swept.
Weren't they close games though?
Well, there two of them were, and then the last one was not. So
So
that was the
that
first.
lineup's just not as potent without Josh Naylor.
Man, fuck that guy. In fact, I had to see his ass on the Diamondbacks a couple weeks ago. I don't want to see him anymore. Somebody said the Sox should sign him this offseason. I swear to God, if they do, and I have
I
to be a
said
Josh.
that.
Did you say, was that you that said that? I swear I thought I heard from. Okay, maybe
Eric
that
said it too. He's
was it.
someone
Eric
that's like in their price range, but isn't
is
he
in.
still fits like the mold of what Getz wants. Getz wants guys who can play defense and hustle. And even though Josh Naylor's a big dude, he still busts his ass. So
Yeah, I mean, again, as much as
I
I
mean, Tim Elko would need to show great improvement for them to just hand him first base next year. Where I mean,
yeah.
if they still want to give him the opportunity, he could easily like platoon and like DH and stuff like that. But if you added a first baseman, although I almost feel like they want Vargas at first base.
I mean,
They
he
play
has
him
been
there a
seeming to
lot.
be playing there a lot as of late too, especially with like Colston now being up and him being at short, and then Chase being at second. I think Colston can play third, can he too?
Yeah, but they're gonna let him play short. I don't think he'll
Yeah.
be moving around at this
No,
point.
either do I. But yeah, so I mean, that's the thing where it should be very interesting to see, and obviously a lot can happen in 2 weeks. I mean, who the hell knows? Tomorrow they could trade somebody, and we have a whole nother thing to talk about, because and again, I feel like at any moment now, from even like during the All-Star break, we could see some type of trades go down, and this is what always happens like this. They always wait a little bit.
Isn't the draft coming up?
The draft is next week or the 22nd, something like that. I think. I feel like I was just watching the draft, but speaking of that, the guy that the Royals drafted just hit his first home run. Was it today or yesterday? I think something like that. It
The
is July
Orioles
13th
traded
and
the
14th.
reliever.
Huh?
What did you say?
I said the guy the Royals drafted last year, Jack Callaghan, whatever the hell his name is.
Oh, Caglione.
There we go. He hit his first home run, I think, yesterday or today, and it's Sunday and Monday. So this Sunday and Monday, the
Okay.
draft.
Because I Getz was getting interviewed the other day and made a comment that it's likely it'll die down probably until the draft, like any crazy trades.
Well, yeah.
Um, so I mean, maybe like a random reliever or something.
I mean, I
I
guess.
think it's going to be interesting with Robert. I still question, like, I get every article that comes out. Everyone seems to think he's absolutely gone. What I don't see the value. I mean, what
Well,
you're not getting anything. So unless the Sox are going to pay a lot of his contract, I don't
or
know.
or package him with somebody. Like I think we're gonna get more for Adrian Hauser than we could Robert right now with how good Adrian Hauser is pitching. The fact the man has went to 7+ innings the last 2 to 3 starts is insane, and nobody saw this guy coming out of nowhere. I mean, I was it the Mets that got rid of him and they designated him, or they just
Yeah.
said that you don't want, So that's the thing where it's just like, and watching Robert go out there, he's not helping his case at all. Like it was better for him just to be out at this point and not hurt whatever the heck he's trying to do, because every time he plays, he just hurts his value in any way, except his sliding catches that he makes when the ball is hit on a little blooper, you know. So yeah. I don't know, but after they do play the Guardians and after this weekend, we go on to play Pittsburgh. And last year we got swept by the Pirates. I remember that weekend. That irritated me that weekend. So we will be playing Pittsburgh, and I think we're in Pittsburgh if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we are in
Is it
Pittsburgh.
2 or 3 games?
Three. Wait.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's three. So it's next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So obviously we'll be here again to talk about that and everything else. But for right now, what do you think if it was this weekend and everything else with or like two whatever? Do
In
you think
Pittsburgh,
that because right now the Pirates are 38-56, so they're only
I
seven
think
games.
they'll take 2 out of 3 in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
The Sox don't make enough mistakes to lose to shitty teams, like to get swept by Pittsburgh. I just don't see it happening.
well, I think that's the biggest thing too. Is it's like they haven't been making those mistakes, or like the games they are like the Dodger series. Like they played very close games and they competed with the Dodgers for the most part. Besides, obviously that last game and everything, and the Dodgers decided to. But I mean, they had the second game. Obviously, they blew, and I didn't expect them to beat the Dodgers, and they're nowhere near being competitive with them. But the fact that they go out there and they're playing baseball games that are, or ending the Blue Jay streak, like that's something that just would not have happened where these guys just they finally seem to care, and they give me a reason to care again. Because for a while there I just did not care, even though I sat here and watched every game, and yeah. Shall be interesting though, but who do you think's gonna win the All-Star game? Do you think the AL or NL is gonna take it? Do you always root for the AL because of the White Sox, or do you like not care?
Yeah, I mean, I normally lean towards the AL just because of the White Sox, but I honestly have I've kind of been out of it. Even this week, I've just been working a lot, so went from being sick to working a ton of hours, so I haven't been as invested. I saw like they finalized the home run derby, but I don't even know who's in it.
They
I mean,
like
we could do
replaced like
that.
5 players today. I have no idea either.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Brett Rooker got in it for somebody, and then I don't know. I can't keep up. I lost track. I love the home run derby. I like the way it's done, but like I feel like they should add the stakes again back to the All Star game for something. Like, I don't know. There just needs to be something else for them to play for, because they are also using. I don't know if you saw, but they're using the ABS system. I don't know if that's robot ums or if that's like
It's like the
apparently
shit they were doing in
spring training.
spring training.
So apparently now too, I don't know if you saw, but all the pitcher or catcher or somebody has to do like this, and they get a challenge or something to speed up the game. I don't freaking know, but after watching
Oh.
CB Buckner this past week or whatever the hell game that was, I'm kind of happy because that guy did not know where the hell a ball or a strike was if his life depended on it. So we'll wait and see. But that is all I think we got here for you, Deech. You got anything else you want to talk about or anything I forgot or missed?
No, I mean, hopefully they play well this weekend, and
They
the
better play
rain
well
holds
this
off.
weekend. Scotty Pods could go play left field right now. Shit. Put him in. Let's get to the
Yeah.
chat. We got Eric in the chat. Eric's got some questions for us. So, Eric, I appreciate you stopping by. Remember, guys, I'll be live over on Tino's Time at 7 o'clock to preview Evolution and Saturday night's main event. Deech, we got 4 pay-per-views in a matter of 48 hours this weekend. So excited. Will Venable is who Eric, you're asking us this question in July. It's Will Venable, my guy. He said. Does I don't know, does he? Does Moncada still make music? He might. The
I have
Angels,
no
man, they just
idea.
be picking up everybody at this point, so you know. I cannot play the piano, no, I cannot. Colorado, let's see what is Colorado 21 and they have 21 or 22 wins. But I think they are what? They're 6 or 7 games still worse than we are. I think they still need to win because we had 28 wins at this time last year because this is when we went on this awful losing streak and we couldn't
Yeah.
win a game of our life depended on it. Yeah, they're 21 and 72. So they are still 7 games worse than we are. And they actually, I think, went on like a 6-game winning streak at one point this year. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Rockies. But hopefully they can continue to lose because that would be, it's like I want them to break it, but I also don't want them to break it because, but yeah. What was my reaction to hearing that You Think You Know Me in AEW? Oh, Edge. Man, I remember watching that when Edge came back, and that's stupid. I'm tired of it. I can't deal with it. But Deech, we got through another episode. I appreciate you as always coming and hanging out here. Hopefully you enjoy your weekend. Take some pictures. Send me some pictures of the statue and all of that good stuff when you're at the game because I'm definitely very interested to see what it looks like and everything. I'll be watching it on TV from 4 hours away, so I'll be there in spirit. But guys, thank you all for coming and hanging out here with us this week as we talked 20 years of Chicago White Sox celebrating the 2005. We talked about the week that was and the week that will be. But until next time and until next week when we're back here to talk about what happened and everything else from the All-Star break. And, next Thursday, 5 o'clock, same time, same place. Make sure you come and hang out here. But until then, make sure you go follow all the social medias, the OTM guys, the Main Event Network crew, your boy Tino over on Tino's Time. If you have not yet, subscribe here on the Southside Boys and over there as we are on the road to 104K representatively. So do all that good stuff, guys. And I will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Or if you don't watch wrestling, we'll see you back here next week at 5 o'clock for another Southside Boys episode. Guys, enjoy your week. I will see you then.